Those of you who know John Colley, a very known media person, journalist, he used to run this thing they call Talking John Studio. He interviewed candidate Weah in 2005 when he heard about that privatization, he interviewed George Weah. And he normally hosts or does these debates, senatorial debates here and there, and all that stuff. John Colley goes on the radio and is advising politicians from stop intruding into their journalism field. Politicians must stick to their politics and leave journalism. So I'm asking myself, what is journalism? So the way I'm talking to you now, am I a journalist? Does John Colley understand what a journalist is? From a podcaster or a political commentator? Does he understand that? John Colley and some media people are either uncomfortable because some of us, even though in political offices, we are telling our own story because they fail to tell the story in a balanced way. The journalist is supposed to know and live by the thing they call ABC in journalism. Accuracy, balancing the story, and the story must be correct. ABC of journalism. You listen to every radio now get talk show. Journalists, they place journalism should be practiced and no less is on the news. The news. Even in the journalism field, a commentary by a journalist, the editorial written by the newspaper is the thinking, the opinion of that newspaper, their editorial. The commentary of a media person or a journalist is their opinion. The news must be accurate, balanced, and correct. That is where journalism is. Everywhere around the world, those of you who follow it now and live in America, almost every lawmaker in the U.S., go Ghana, Canberra, Sierra Leone, go Ivory Coast, they have their podcast to interact with their people. If I did something positive, and because you media have turned politics, you turn to politician, you say I'm supporting the other politician, and I'm supporting Dillon as a politician, he owns a story, I will not report it. So then the public takes it that Dillon not doing anything because they're not hearing about Dillon. Then Dillon can say, okay, I will tell my own story now. Then you verse. Or more besides, John Colley talked to the radio and said, Dillon, we beg you, you leave our profession. Dillon, you don't be mean to the media people, to the journalists. John Colley, along with Senator Lawrence, are chairing the board of Bourgeois Radio. We employ journalists. We got station manager, business manager, we get reporters, we pay them. When I decide to be a guest or to hold my podcast to interact with my people, I'm not doing journalistic work. I'm not reporting the news And I'm not castigating somebody. I am not saying somebody said this and that I did not get the side of the story to balance it. When you, the journalist, decide to be journalist, report the news. Whether if the news is negative, but it must be true. There are some things that are negative. If I stole money, for instance, that's negative news for me, but it's true. If I stole and the media reported it, that I stole, it is a negative news for me, but it is a true news. That's journalism. You're really being almost every media institution in the country got some kind of politician or some kind of political party allegiance they have, and they damage one person's character and promote another person at the detriment of other people's reputation. And you expect me, Darius Dillon, who is media savvy like this, no public relations, I sit down, greedy people like you, John Colley, who got no spine. We can't tell me that I'm going to lead journalism where are we in journalism? They think I'm doing a journalism. I'm interacting with my people. I'm holding a podcast. I'm not reporting news. I'm not reading news. John Colley, I'm coming for you and some of your own people who crying while we open Class Reloaded. We open Class Reloaded because we can sit down, we form a government, made a government, and then one group of people decide that send their own microphone, they will be negative toward the country and say nothing positive is happening in the country and honor the government at all. And when we can tell our own story, we coming to tell our own story, we are telling our own story, then we presenting our own narrative. And then, so the people who may be feeding you, reducing what they were feeding you, then you won't get angry. You journalists, okay, so let me be clear. Get the public and get us say, the people in government corrupt. Without having the sense to say it's not possible for everybody to be in government corrupt. Just because everybody in government, everybody cannot be corrupt. Because some people in government probably may be doing it or actually doing it, does not mean everybody. By the time they say media people, they are quacks. And they say blackmail, we'll put black on that person. And they don't attack the media. But you see the media people, they report that John Colley went on radio and said Dillon there, especially Darius Dillon, he might not get our journalism fee. Let me tell you something. I lie on my ticket here. It hurt my character. It hurt my conscience. I live with it. That was a negative story, but it was true. Against me, it was true. I didn't take it up on anybody. I took it up on myself. But when I'm doing something positive and you refuse to report it because reporting it would mean promoting me against the people who gave me something every month, to hell with you. I am saying that, John Colley. I'm going on the radio this week. I will speak to this. Class Reloaded, we will sponsor it continuously. We will make sure that it will grow bigger. We will get more than 100 radio stations across the country, community radio stations, to tell the government story. So you, the blackmailers, you think that you alone get microphone in for you, that you alone can just get up every morning, the whole country wicked, everybody changed in the country, everybody in government got up one morning and said they will be bad and corrupt. Every expenditure of government is corruption. Every paper you see with money on it, somebody told the money to the house. Is that journalism, that nonsense what some of you can be doing? Is that journalism? Is that journalism? Journalism is to respect and take cognizance and abide by the ABC, accuracy, balance, and correct. Some people who even in the journalism field, they're holding talk show, a caller calls and says something completely misleading. No fact check. They don't check them immediately, say that thing you're talking is not true. Because there are other people listening. And the people who are listening, go without nonsense. That person talk for 1 minute on the radio, through the telephone. You don't do that. You don't do that. In 2019, the records there. In 2019, harmonization, lawmaker salary from 15,000 gross to 10,000 gross. In August 2019, when I became senator. Since 2019, under George Weah government, we reduced that money from 15 to 10. The records, everything there, every month we're taking pay. 10,000 gross, 7,900 net. You holding talk show, you're a journalist, and somebody say lawmaker making 15,000, and you can't say, hey, no, stop. Doing the harmonization, they reduce the money to this amount. No journalist can do that when they're doing a talk show. You sit on your talk show, you sit on your radio as a journalist, and you assign reporter to the Capitol building, and somebody call and say, the lawmaker then they can only work 2 times a week, and you can correct them. To say no, the 2 times you see them is when they're in session. The Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we can see them in committee, different committee hearings and committee meetings. Instead of helping the society to be informed, you're there promoting one side and think you can damage another a group of people, capital reputation, and think that some of us will say, John Collins, you talk complete nonsense. I'm coming for you this week, and I'm waiting for all the media people in this country to descend on me because I went for John Collins. John Collins went on radio and said, Dylan, me, we are running whole radio station. I got journalists working, we're paying them. We got administrative staff, we're paying them. You see that one? That my podcast and Class Reloaded. In fact, we will make Class Reloaded bigger. Bigger. If you don't want Class Reloaded, follow ABC in journalism. Accurate, balanced, and correct. Now y'all blackmailing nonsense y'all can be doing a thing people will shake to it. No, not this government. You blackmail us, we close our ear to it. We open our own up. Sure. Without rewarding blackmailers. If you're angry, sorry. No apologies. We're not going to reward people who decide that I will talk about them man until he gave me something. No, not me. Not this government. Not Joseph Boakai government. A few people in there giving some of you people something, we're watching. We're watching. When we catch public officials in our government sponsoring some people who lie mouth just all over the place, and the thing giving a negative image to the country every day makes them feel okay, and because they're getting something from somewhere, watch yourself. We, the government, we're watching our own from inside. When we catch you sponsoring some of these blackmailers, some of the ones who say nothing positive is at all is happening to this country, we're watching. When we catch you, you are under the government. You can cut the part and say they don't threaten people. I know that somebody you can do that fully netto. You tell one politician who has federal election, you just get up every day, every evening, and you just say all the negative things about the country and people. And when they look at you even speaking, your character is not even near anything that even Cloras cannot help your character. And then you just get up in the morning, in the evening, and just pretend that everybody in government and in the public, they rogue, they corrupt, and the country going downhill, and nothing positive. Or you just looking for sniffing for negative news. If nothing negative for the day, you go back for something 1 year ago to come make a fresh story. And we must say that on our foolishness, Class Reloaded will look for about 100 community stations across the country. And we will fund it to tell the story about the country. John Collins and your life? No. Not when I'm around this government. Not when I'm around this government.